I move receipt of the recommendations.
I would certainly like to, Mr Mayor.
Is that seconded? Ms. Councillor Searle. Councillor McLaren.
Councillors had the opportunity to attend many briefings in relation to the funding of this project, and of course a lot of these issues were canvassed during that time, and I'm completely confident with what the staff have proposed, and I don't have any of those fears. Those questions were asked of people who are far more knowledgeable in those areas than I am. So I think delay is death, that this project has been delayed for 8.5 years, and I'm not going to wear another excuse to delay it any further. That what has been set out by staff allows it to proceed quickly, and it allows it to proceed with the funding secured. And I have been disappointed by some of the emails that I have received. That, I mean, it's hard not to take offence to ones that question why anyone would want to live in areas like Winmalee or Springwood. Quite proud to live and represent those communities, particularly since those communities delayed their community facilities and things like their tennis courts to fund the Blackheath pool. Not once did someone in Winmalee or Springwood say, but who'd want to live in Blackheath? They allowed graciously that money to be diverted from their community up the mountains, because that's what happens when you live in a city. That's what happens when you live in a community. We have a housing shortage in this state because this state is full of NIMBYs and caves who do not want development near them. And what that means is that house prices become unaffordable. It means that people can't access services because they're forced out to the fringes. 45 houses is not a lot, but yet we're being told that will destroy the character of a community. Frankly, I wouldn't want to live in a community that told me they didn't want me there, but that I don't think it's a large-scale development. Certainly it's half the size it could have been. And it's disappointing that the attitude has been, we don't want this, and as a result, the Springwood community will suffer. So that I will be supporting the continuation of the funding plan as it's been put up. This land was subdivided in 1928. I doubt very much there's anyone in this room who was alive when that happened. So when you buy a piece of land, what you do is you check what the zonings are for the areas around you. You see what can happen, what can be built on your land, or the land surrounding you. That's what I did when I bought a house. I know what can be built on the block of land next to me. I know what can be built on the block around land that surround me. That's what you do. That's good due diligence. That when I was first elected to council, we were told the reason that land hadn't been sold off, though it was subdivided and ready to go, was because the sewer was inadequate. And in 2004, that was certainly the case. So that certainly the whole time I've been on council, I've known that was a possibility, so I can't imagine that's a state secret. So that I absolutely support this project going forward, that I don't have concerns about the funding because that in those briefing sessions they were very detailed. The questions were asked, and I'm confident that people who are expert in those fields know far more than I do. Certainly I don't profess to be any great expert in real estate, but I'm comfortable with it, and I don't want to see the Springwood project held up by any further delays. Council staff looked far and wide for options to fund this project, and though it would have been fantastic had we got more money from state or federal governments, that didn't happen. We need to fund it. It's the responsibility of the city for it to be spread across the city, just as it was the responsibility for the $3.45 million that's been spent on Blackheath Pool to come from across the city, a facility that arguably will have far, far less usage than anything in the lower mountains.
Thank you. Further debate? Councillor Mays.
Just a question, Mr Mayor, and you might be able to guide me on this. The copy in front of councillors tonight of this petition does not nominate the petitioner. I'm wanting some clarity, really, around the definition from the petitioners, please, about the process of proper and thorough community consultation. I'm wondering how I can get that I guess, Mr Mayor, a further question is, can I ask a question of Councillor Gibbs, who's presented the petition, or is that not appropriate? Or
No, you can do that.
Yeah, so Mr Mayor, my question is around this petition, and I'm not looking to be cute or difficult or smart, but I would like to understand for the petitioners what their definition, please, is of the process of proper and thorough community consultation, and I just need some clarity around that issue. And maybe Councillor Gibbs
certainly
would
no
be prepared to
councillor can
answer.
answer that, except for Councillor Gibbs, and we can't ask the community under the rules of debate. So, Councillor Gibbs, if you want to answer that question.
Look, I answer as best I can. I'm not speaking on behalf of the residents, but I can relay some of the concerns that have been placed to me. They had one meeting several weeks ago where they endorsed the 28-day public exhibition of the proposal and the submissions as per regular council process. It's a process that they would prefer. That's not a meeting I was in attendance to, so I can't speak more than that. People raised to the council's community consultation matrix process at the public meeting on Thursday night. And were interested in following some of the prescriptions within the council's community consultation matrix, and that would be something that they would be interested in.
Any further debate or questions? There being none, well, hasn't been spoken against, so I'll put that. This is the praise of correspondence, items 1 to 7 for the adoption. All those in favour? Against? Nobody. Declare it carried unanimously.